the agenda in here. If you can add your names. Okay. I saw some teams kind of made an update, so hopefully they will join as well later on. Cool. So let's get started. So we have the tags somehow half implemented. So we did something, we wanted to iterate, and then the issue is kind of like stuck in the pipeline. So I think the recommendation would be for localization team to not implement it yet, because then you have to do it all over again. So it's like, I thought it would be quick because we did like, okay, let's do this really quickly and then do the other change. So yeah, I'm always kind of mindful, or try to be, because I feel bad when people do double work, right? Like, so I would maybe just not touch it. And also, we wanted to provide some guidance as to how to handle tags in the documentation, but we wanted the updates to be live yet, because we've seen that in some, in 2 or 3 maybe, or 2, I don't know, terms, there were like several tags, and it's like, yeah, sometimes you can add like lots of tags because it fits into, from a broad perspective, it fits into various things, but then the tags are not useful anymore because they're not really telling you. So we wanted to be very deliberate and thoughtful about how we use them so they can be useful for the user when they're looking for terms and understanding how this fits in, versus like putting lots of tags that suddenly just are lots of noise and don't really tell you anything about it, because everything is technology related. It's like, so we also started the in the discussions, we started a discussion in GitHub for how to handle updates. So Edson already provided feedback. So basically, there is no right approach right now here, and we just want everyone to maybe share their own approaches and then kind of figure out what the best approach is. And when we found something that the most, and again, like everyone can handle it the way they want, every team can handle it the way they want to, but we wanted to kind of first gather some ideas and have a conversation there before we kind of say like, this is like the recommended approach. So Team Portuguese has one. If anyone else has one, it would be great to share it here or comment or just like engage in that conversation, because it is kind of, oops, not this one. It is important. So again, like here to see how your peers handle it, and please let's have that conversation. Glossary at KubeCon, great news. Lightning talk was accepted. So that's great because it's a 5-minute talk. It's generally like people come to see the lightning talk, so it's not necessarily people that come, oh, I want to hear that particular talk. So you have a much broader audience, right? It's a much bigger audience. They come to see lightning talks. They come to see a lot of things. So you are touching, you're getting to, you reach people that not necessarily picked you or not necessarily, they didn't see your talk or whatever on the list. So it's great for awareness. The goal of the lightning talk is saying like, this is the glossary. This is why it matters. This is why you should use it. If you want to contribute, this is why you should contribute. We're also localizing. Want to localize, this is what. So it's like really kind of like really quick, short explanation what it is. It's purely awareness, so people know that it is there and that they can participate and contribute as well in the localized effort. The panel discussion, unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, I shouldn't say it, because waitlisted means that it was because like getting a talk in KubeCon is very hard, right? There's a ton, like we've gotten lots of rejections this year. It's very, very hard. So waitlisted means that it was good enough, right? Like it was really good. It passed that bar, but they didn't have enough spots. So they do sometimes speakers cannot come or something happens and then it opens up. So there's still a chance. The panel discussion, again, for those who don't know it, we invited several people from the localized team. It was very localized focused. And then like why everyone thinks it's important to have a localized version of the talk and so on. So yeah, we wanted that to be like an opportunity, particularly for some of, we cannot invite everyone, of course, but some of the team leads of the different localization efforts, to give them a chance as well to talk to a bigger audience. Then we also want to empower you to, we would love, like, and that's like, if people are interested, you know, like what we're, of course, we want to do this on a larger scale for the glossary in general, like localization in general. But I think like we just started this effort, localization, the localized glossaries are still not complete, it's still work in progress. So probably not a lot of people in your region know that there is a glossary available in Korean, in German, you know, like they don't know that, right? So, and they don't know that it exists and they don't know that they can contribute. Like, so both things are important, right? Like having them knowing that it exists and using it and contributing is another thing. But I think like getting the word out there for people to use it is the first kind of step. We would love for you to, you know, go talk at meetups, KCDs, national conferences, why, like you are part of CNCF project, why it's important. Yeah, so I think that would be great if you could do that in your, it's a little bit good for the teams as well, because you can then become really the face of that project in your respective regions. And so we created the stack here. Let me just go real quick over it. So basically, just like quick explanation what it is. But it walks you through, okay, first, like cloud native definitions in general, right? Like, for instance, right now, they're really driven by vendors, why it's not ideal, and why we need kind of a very easily accessible one. So this is like in general why we need cloud native definitions, or the issue with, or the problem statement with the current state without the cloud native glossary. Then we talk about the cloud native glossary, right? It's trusted, vendor neutral, community driven. That's really important, right, for all these things. And people can keep it up to date, right? Like if you have a vendor definition, the vendor definition is going to be outdated because it's not their priority. Very often it's a marketing tactic. I know it because I'm in marketing. So there's like an SEO, a search engine optimization you're trying to, so you do it once and then you don't update it. So you see a lot of these things out there, and technology changes far too fast for it to let like a stale definition out there that just because like it got a lot of backlinks or whatever, it pops up at top, it doesn't mean it's the best one, right? So having something that is trusted from the CNCF, vendor neutral, does not bias towards their solution or what how they want to view, let's say, observability or whatever, and community driven, I think it's really important, right? And then our goal, then how people can help, right? Like this is not necessarily for the people who want to contribute. First, like just use it, you know, like when people are want to learn about cloud native, link back to definition and so on, and then help as well improve it as you use it. And then we want to talk in general a little bit about contributing in general. So this is like from a lot of this came from Rael and Victor. They've been talking about this. They also did a KubeCon talk about contributing to docs, and but like more geared towards technology, Kubernetes docs, sorry. And so here a lot of inspiration from there. Like, first of all, like what are the different ways of contributing, right? It's not just docs, it's not just code, right? Like there are all these different things, right? And we're going to talk about this, so where that fits in, why localization matters. This is like what really important for localization teams, right? And then why you should do it, like how you can kind of the contributor ladder, then like about your team and how to get started. Okay, like if people are interested, what should they do? And then I think like it's basically kind of that's like resources and so on. So, And again, the wrong one. So now I have too many tabs open. So basically, and I don't know, like maybe someone has ideas to improve it too. You know, what message do you think might resonate? Again, we want to make sure that we are a team, like all localized people as well, like work together. Like if people start using this and talking at conferences and see something resonates particularly, like just put in a like something, you know, let's improve the deck so everyone can improve it. So let's make this not like something, oh, I use it and then I figure it out, the best practices, and don't report back, right? Like the idea is kind of helping each other. And yeah, if anyone is interested, let us know. I mean, we would love to help you, like, you know, like that, like whatever help you need, I don't know. And then also, like, if anyone has any other ideas about what we can do to get the word out specifically in the countries, or I don't know, does anyone have an idea? I know it's a very kind of my only idea was like talking at conferences, but like I'm sure there are other things that we could do.
I have a question, more organizational one. Where does the slides live? So is there a folder or something that we can share?
There is a
yes,
there is a folder, and there's a business value subcommittee folder on the CNCF
G drive. Yeah.
Yes.
Because
not everyone.
Because
I created. Yeah.
I was thinking of maybe we can have one place where the template lives, and also the localized ones with their adjustments, maybe, so that we have on everything on one place.
Yeah.
And then we can.
That would be great, because if someone leaves from that team and just like, you know, disappears, like the next team doesn't have to start from scratch.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
And also people have the chance to see what maybe the other teams adjusted in their slides.
Yeah, it's gonna be difficult sometimes when it's, because if it's all in their language.
Yeah, when
it could be fun, but you get a sense, right? It's like there's a lot more text here than on the other one, so probably there's more. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think, I think we can share, make it, because I created a folder, promo, cloud native promo or something, I called it, in that folder. So we can probably share that folder and maybe link to it in the glossary channel on top, you know. And then if anyone has ideas as well, like whatever, like, I think this is a team effort, right? Like whatever we can find to improve it. Any other ideas top of mind? No. Yeah, something to continue thinking about. Oh, okay.
It's more a question that's than an idea, but do you have some meetups per country? A list of meetups you know we already involved. The CNCF is already involved. I'm not really a meetup guy, so it's not something I'm really used to.
CNCF.
Yeah, I guess there's a page for that, right? So the CNCF has a page for at least every official CNCF meetup. Let me check.
You can go, and I don't know, Berlin. See, Berlin. Here you have different ones. So here's where KCDs also live. The KCDs, they put them here. So KCDs, again, for those who don't know, it's Kubernetes Community Days. These are more conference-driven things. But then there are also like different chapters. So this used to be on meetup.com. But now the CNCF kind of moved like a year and a half ago or something. They moved. So here we have Canada. And yeah, just go here and see. These are all CNCF, so they should be all relevant. A lot of them are still doing stuff virtually. So if there is no meetup in your region, and the other would be meetup.com, right? Because meetup.com, that's another one, right? It's
All right.
not, so some, yeah, on both sides. It doesn't have to be a CNCF affiliated one, you know, it could be a DevOps one, it could be, it doesn't matter, anyone who is using cloud native. It's not, we're not saying it's just the CNCF community, right? So yeah, and like virtual is always easy because you can do it, right? So it's worth checking maybe a little further. I think most are kind of going back to in person just because it's so much nicer and people are sick of doing stuff virtually. But I think some are still doing virtually. So yeah, or maybe the other thing is like whenever you have a trip, a work trip or whatever, you know, like keeping that in mind, you have to go travel, I don't know where, you know, and then see ahead of time if there's a meetup there, and then say like, oh, you know, like maybe I can talk there, and so that's another thing. It's like it's easy to forget, but like, yeah, you're not going to travel somewhere specifically for a meetup, but sometimes if you're going to be there, but that requires a little planning ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so the Bengali team's blog is live. Go check that out. Very cool. I mean, I love working on them because I kind of learned so much about the different languages, specifically the ones I didn't know about. And so Bengali, like a whole little story, backstory, which was interesting. The Spanish team is going to go live on the 19th. I do have the Korean one. I haven't looked at it yet. But that is on my to-do list. And then team Portuguese is TBD. And okay, I think this is Seoko or Jihun or?
Yeah, I added. So in our repository, sign up is required for new commits. So every contributors should use sign up when they make a commit. So if you don't do the sign off, then quick test for a PR will stop you. So it is now actually officially required. So please add sign off to your commit. So is there any question regarding this issue? Handling this issue for new commits are very easy for us. We need to guide to new contributors. But when we try to merge commit in branch to another branch, that will generate some issue issues, since we still have some commits which does not have sign off yet. So folks who are managing your development branch need to aware of this situation. Maybe we need to disable manually the issue for those PRs to hope PR that want to merge commit in a branch to another branch. So it is kind of a reminder. Thank you.
But I think now it's automatic, right? Because I remember at some point it was like, oh, you have to sign it. And now I submitted a PR and it already auto-signed it, which.
So if we use GitHub GUI, then some part has been automated. I mean, when we make a commit using GitHub GUI, it provides the sign off option defaultly, so it is automated. But maybe many people does not use GitHub GUI when they make a new commit. They need to provide an option, additional option to provide a commit, sign up the commit to sign up the commit. So it is kind of
Yeah.
So when we make a commit, we use this kind of command. Commit M option is for message, but with S option, you can give the sign off to the commit. So if you use just git CLI, then it is not automated. So contributors need to take care of this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
it's an extra step. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess this is something we have to add somewhere in our documentation, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Sure,
we did
we-
ask if we could like skip it, but the CNCF said no.
Yes.
So it's something that they need and it's global. So we'll have to add it somewhere.
So first thing is about this is like Noah said, we need update guide so that people can add the sign off in their commit message. And then we need to find a way to resolve the situation that TCO blocks appear, which include many commits in branch to another branch. It still stops our PRs. So we are manually disable this issue for those PRs. So we need a way to resolve them. I think that's all for this year.
Any updates from localization in general that Silko Jihun wanted to mention?
Yes, so I think just one news is about French, but since there are many approvals from French, so I don't have any issue. Yeah.
The right representative kind of tell us the news. And that's actually the first language that is up next. So, Damien?
Yes, so with the French localization team, we made the initial PR. Thank you, Silko, for reviewing it so quickly. So the PR is ready, but I wait for the two other maintainers to review this one. It's quite complicated right now because one of them is in vacation for like a long time, and the other one is just doing this. I think in the few days coming, and it will be pretty ready. I think like in maybe 1 week. And on the other side, I'm currently working on translation on other terms. So it's it advances slowly, but
slowly but surely. That's
yes,
good.
that's it. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, really glad to have you and seeing that things are moving forward. So definitely excited to see whenever you can go live, and that will be awesome.
Just one question. Sorry. The dev FR branch is behind master branch from like 8 or 10 commits, I think. Should we rebase this one before after we merge the initial PR? So how does this work generally for your team? So if
I think I can answer your question. In general, you can make a PR, open a PR whenever you want. Whenever you think your development branch need to be updated. So if you are going to translate and localize the source English document, if you don't update development branch, your source can be outdated. So if you can frequently, I suggest to frequently update your development branch to sync with main branch. In that way, when you try to merge Dev FR development branch into main branch, the conflict will be minimized.
Okay, so we should open a new peer when requesting merge from master into dev or FR. All right.
Yes, right. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Soko.
Okay, well then I think I go next. So Team Germany is also making super slow progress, but the progress is there. So we have 6 terms ready. That is 1 more than the last time. And we have 3 terms in progress. So I'm a little bit disappointed because I made a LinkedIn post and it gained some attention and people were super enthusiastic, but then unfortunately nothing really happened. So there were no additional contributions from them. So what I did is I looked to the Kubernetes localization efforts, and I plan to maybe join the Kubernetes localization meetings to see if I can somehow get folks from there in. But so my first impression was that I think also with the Kubernetes localization team Germany is not really active there as well, but I will have to check that again. So that's my plan. Yeah, and I hope that there will be a little bit more folks joining.
I'm just thinking that actually, I know the LinkedIn post got attention, but at the end it didn't translate. But maybe like for our promo kit for the teams, we could also create like some social media post ideas that the teams could
that would be awesome. Yeah,
that people can just just translate into their language and then kind of like or use as inspiration or whatever. And maybe we could create also like little cards, social media cards with something that people can so people just to give them tools. So I think that's another idea. So we have talks, social media posts is another idea. So if there are any other ideas. So you did have an idea, Noah, but you didn't think about mentioning because I think it's actually a good idea. It just didn't. Yeah, it's just a difficult case sometimes.
I don't know what's so I have the impression that the German folks are not that active in the community. That's one thing. The other thing is that you told in the Slack channel in the Slack chat that maybe all the German folks are using the English terminology, so they don't really use the German localized ones. I don't know. Could be.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people in Germany do speak English, and like a lot of tech companies have teams, international teams, and they speak, even in Germany, they speak English at work. So that's a reality. So that like, why would you? People are maybe saying like, why do you? But still, like some people, it's still easier. It doesn't. It just, I think it's more difficult to make a case among people who actually are very comfortable with English. Yeah. But there are people who aren't, and it means like we should still create it. It's just more difficult to find people.
Sure,
see that case, I guess. I don't see anything for Hindi here, but I see that Kunal is there. So I'm just going to put him on the spot.
Yeah, hi everyone. I think it's been long that I've attended this particular meeting. So to be honest, I wasn't in sync with the Hindi team for a while. but I've been like reviewing the chat, and like total 15 terms have been localized till now, and 4 or 5 of them are, we are working on that. So I wasn't in sync with the team, so I'm not able to like fully update on that part.
Okay, that's fine. We're still happy that there is like some Hindi representation.
Thanks.
Okay, and so I don't think anyone, someone from the Italian team, I don't think so. Yes. So Italian team, I think there was also like a little summer kind of hole because they were very active, and at some point they said that's going a little slower. But they have 50 new terms and dev branch ready to merge, and 6 new terms currently in review, and more coming soon. So and hopefully next time someone can join this meeting as well, would be awesome. Korean? Who wants to take this?
Do you want? Let me. Okay. Let me introduce Korean progress. In case of Korean, actually, Yoon-gon Kim, who is one of approvers in Korean localization team, he met many students who are willing to contribute to our repository, and he is giving some effort to invite them and guide them. And currently we have 6 terms are working in progress. We have 6 PRs, and then 1 new term has been added. But this work is in our development branch, and maybe when we merge those working in progress PRs, we will put our development branch effort to main branch so that they can be live. Also, we use an issue to trace Korea localization progress, but we determined to use discussion capability. I mean, you can find discussion in our repository, and we will keep track the Korean localization progress using that discussion. So in that discussion, we have some basic guidelines how to contribute Korean localization and what are the essential documents to be localized. And then new contributors will put a message in that discussion so that they can be assigned to that job. Reason why we use this discussion is that some localization teams are using creating individual issues for initiating new localization term. But I think sometimes those issues are overwhelming for our repository. Covers full page of our issue page. So we try to reduce that issues, and if we use this discussion, then make Korean contributors don't need to make issues by own. And then this issue can be entrance point of Korean localization contribution. So yeah, that's all from my side. Is there any question regarding Korean localization or those using discussions?
But I think it's great to see what the other teams are doing to kind of figure out what, because there is no right or wrong, right? There are different ways and different things work for different people. So it's great. It's great. Yeah, it's great to see that.
Sure, thank you. Yeah,
okay,
also,
Portuguese.
yeah, we also have planned to update how to trace the outdated content. Yungon is preparing a method to keep updating the outdated content. We will put it the discussion that Catherine mentioned before. That's all.
Okay. And then Team Portuguese. So a new reviewer is coming soon. And then they're working on a guide or checklist for approver. And that's a really good idea to have like how I wish like now maybe little hint, maybe they could do that in English too. So, and then 2 terms are ready. But need to rebase the main branch first, and blog post version 1 is done. So I guess we should see that very soon. And if we have that, like with Korean and Portuguese, we would have all blog posts for every single language that is live now. So that's cool. Another thing that's new, I forgot to mention. So we are finally able to record this meeting. So it's going to go on a YouTube channel. So other people can see that on their own time. Specifically with people in on the other side of the world, as Seoko and Jihun can say, it's tough to make it to the meeting. So it's good that we have that. And whenever team members also share their knowledge, it's not like it's there and captured and people can see it later on. Anything else that someone wants to discuss? Oh, Matt Young, hello. Didn't see you.
Yeah, I had a conflict from 9 to 9:30, so I was just lurking. Hi.
Hello.
No other discussion topics? No. Okay, I think we're in a really good shape. I'm excited to see localization efforts moving forward, and I really, really, really hope that we can do the little promo things localized. So I think I'm excited about that, and I hope that the different teams are excited about that as well, to be able to you know, talk about it and in different meetups. Again, like, please reach out. Happy to help however we can. This is good for the project. It's good for the team. So if there is something we didn't think about, and also if you have other ideas, right? Like we have the talks, we have social media posts. Like if you have any other ideas that would make it easy for people, I mean, we're creating this promo kit basically, right? It's like, okay, you want to promote it, here are the things. So what else should be in that promo kit? Please let us know. Okay, but I think
I had a quick question actually, that brought me here today. The landscape graph project has been kind of quietly bubbling along in a good way over the last month and a half. Some things took a little longer, but we've consolidated down to a serious design that is scalable and have started documenting some things and have figured out how to do graph composition, right? So different domain experts from different tags and different groups can contribute in a way that they don't collide and that we can have CI and CD. So one of my questions about the tags that are being defined, not technical advisory groups, but the attributes that are part of the glossary, are those localized? Like I'm to the point where I can start to bring in categories and tags in this new well-formed model that uses GraphQL as an interface definition language and a way to standardize on something that is an actual standard, GraphQL, as being the API surface in and out of the graph. And so now I'm starting to actually do some specific data modeling. And so, yeah, the question about the tags, are they localized to different languages or are they just one?
I think so. I didn't pay attention. Like,
yeah, I mean, I know all the
so
definitions and all the terms and things are localized, but the actual metadata, that's that I would use.
I would, because otherwise it doesn't make sense. But like Silco, I don't think we have implemented the tags. Not everyone has implemented the tags, right?
Yes, currently we implemented tags, but not fully implemented. So we didn't guide each localization teams to add, their own tags or localized tags yet. But some teams are working on translating, localizing tag itself. So some localization teams have, for instance, Korean localization team also try to translate tag, but currently it is in our own development branch so far. And when we put it main branch, then you will see the localized tags in Glossary website.
Okay.
So
Cool.
yeah, at this moment it is premature, but you will see the localized tags soon. I think so.
Okay. Cool. Well, then I will plan accordingly so that I can accept localized tags. Do you know? And I was planning to implement it such that, you know, whatever is there we'll bring in. But if some languages, if some tags don't have translations or localization in some languages, that's okay. I won't make it break if they're not there, but if they are there, I can display them. And I assume we're using, you know, Unicode and all of that, so it should just work. But it'll be the first kind of actual localization testing or non. Yeah, so I might find out that somewhere along the linkage in the data model, you know, we're not correctly handling internationalized or localized strings, but I'm pretty sure everything is full Unicode throughout, so it should be fine.
Okay, I think if we have some mature localized text, and I will share it through a link so that you can check the localized text, but not very many texts. In case of glossary repository, we didn't define not too many. I mean, few texts. Maybe we have 7 texts currently. Not too many. So please aware of this.
The tags are very high level, and we're really kind of steering away from having one term with lots of tags. And they're kind of like, the idea is to give you a broad overview of how to categorize that term. So it is less is more kind of what we're doing.
No, that's perfect. I just wanted to make sure I was correctly set up to handle multiple languages.
Yeah, and we are, I don't know if you were, because I cannot see when people join when I'm sharing but like at the beginning, we're still, because the tags are not fully updated, what we like the way we envision it in the English version either. So we're kind of actually asking or like recommending not to work on the tags for now until that is implemented. So there's no double work. So it is a little bit on hold, but I know that your project will take a little. Anyways, it's not like it's gonna go live tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll have to catch up.
Yeah,
I came in at 35 minutes after, so I'll have to watch the recording when it posts. I put in the chat sort of the current state of the graph with the GraphQL stuff I mentioned. That's more of just a bunch of links, but it's sort of a summary of the various pieces of technology that we're bringing to bear in the actual implementation of the graph. So
okay, cool. Okay, well then, thank you everyone, and see you hopefully all next month.
Thank you.
Stay
Bye.
cool,
Thank
everyone.
you. Have a nice day.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.